And we are back. NFL Power Rankings, Week 9 edition. This is the final week before we are at the halfway point, so the final week before the trade deadline. We could see teams switch up and immediately jump spots because of it. But as for now, this is, well, hopefully a good list. I know there was just a few trades, but we'll talk about those when we get to those teams. At number 32, we have the Tennessee Titans going down a spot. The Titans, they ended up losing. Again, no surprise there. They fall to 1-7 on the year. They traded away Roger McCreary. They have openly said they're willing to trade away practically anyone except Cam Ward and Jeffrey Simmons, who would have thought their hopeful franchise quarterback and, well, their best player. This is just a bad week for them, a bad season for them, a bad year for them. They lost 38-14 to the Colts in a game that wasn't even close. Yeah. Number 31, we have the Jets going up a spot. They beat the Bengals 39-38 to pick up their first win on the year. Congratulations to them. There are finally no more teams without a win. This was a sloppy game for them. They were trailing most of the game. They pull off the go-ahead touchdown with like a minute left to go. 39-38. This was an offensive game. Justin Fields, in what could have been his final career start, showed off saying, hey, I do have potential. And now, just because of that, he's going to get the opportunity for a few more games. And it's probably going to cost him. Number 30, we have the Raiders staying the same. They are 2-5. They had a bye week. 29, we have the Saints, who are 1-7. They are going down a spot. They ended up losing 23-3 to the Buccaneers in a game that was not competitive whatsoever. There were a lot of calls that were questionable. Most of them actually went against the Buccaneers, so even the Saints had potential to take advantage of that, but they did not. This Saints team also sucks. Spencer Rattler got benched for Tyler Shuck. This team's just looking forward to, the end of the year. Looking forward to how can we improve to go into next year. 28, we had the Dolphins up a spot. They're 2-6. They get a dominant win over the Falcons. My only concern is it was against a backup quarterback, so I don't know how legit that game is. So, yeah, that's kind of where it's like, well, you beat them, but it was a backup quarterback. So, you're still 2-6. You still are, well out of it. You have to work your way back in. Let's see if you can do it. 27, we had the Browns, who are staying the same. They're 2-6. They get blown out by the Patriots in a game where Myles Garrett had 5 sacks. He's the first player in NFL history to do that and then to lose by more than one score. So, but if there's any team to make that, it would be the Browns. So, congratulations to them. You guys just are so, there's just no fight. I mean, this team is still, a year or two away from actually being competitive. You need a quarterback. I don't think you have a quarterback. So, as for now, it's just not there. 26, we have the Cardinals, who are 2-5. They're going down a spot. They're only going down because our team's going up. They're on a bye week. 25, we had the Bengals, 3-5, going down 2 spots. They ended up losing to the Jets, giving them their first win. This was a game where you can't even fault the Bengals offense. I mean, you scored 38 points and you lost. I mean, that's just very rare. And the fact that that's happened, this is the second time, I believe, this season that's happened. I know Bills-Ravens week 1, there could have even been another game. It's crazy to say. Thankfully for the Bengals, the Steelers did lose, so your division is still, there, especially because you play the Bears next week, who just lost, and the Steelers play the Colts, who, are red hot, so that could potentially mean the next game the Bengals play after that Bears game would be against the Steelers for the division lead. So, the AFC North is looking like it could be the NFC East a few years back, where the team who makes the playoffs ends up having a losing record. Bengals, though, you got to win that game. Come on, you put up 38 points. 24, we got the Vikings. They're going down 2 spots. They're 3-4. They, give me a sec. They lost 37-10 to the Chargers. Carson Wentz is going to be out for the year with a shoulder injury or something like that. So it is going to be J.J. McCarthy's time to shine. He got medically benched for the past few games, so, I mean, they can't do that any longer. We just got to see if they're able to do it. I mean, this team still is 3-4. They're still in the hunt. They still have a good team on paper. It's just they need to start clicking. 23, we got the Commanders. They're up a spot. They're 3-5. Even though they lost to the Chiefs 28-7, they actually played really well. They just weren't able to convert anything. Going for it a bunch on fourth downs and being just short, or receivers dropping balls that led to interceptions. This was just one of those where the team just was not clicking, and even though they were trying their absolute best, I mean, their best was not enough, because clearly, even though they were trying their best to win, you know, they weren't coming in clutch when it mattered. 22, we have the other Maryland team. The Ravens up 4 spots. They pick up their second win of the year over the Bears with Tyler Snoop Huntley as their quarterback. I thought Lamar was going to be back. He wasn't. Thankfully, it didn't matter. I picked them to win, and I did not change it. I was so confident. It just goes to show how good this team could have been if, you know, they didn't start Cooper Rush instead. Yeah. This team played really well with Lamar supposed to be back for their next game. I thought that for this game, but clearly I was wrong. They should be good. Yeah, I think the Ravens are actually in a really good spot because, I mean, look at the AFC North. I mean, it is a clown show right now. So even with, you know, them being 3 games behind, they could still easily make a comeback. Or, excuse me, 2 games behind. 21, we have the Giants staying the same. They actually played well against the Eagles. It was a lot of ref ball, in my opinion. Even though the score says they got blown out, they kind of, in my opinion, just gave up 38-20. When your star rookie gets injured, you know, this is someone that the NFL, both, you know, fan bases and, you know, players, coaches, all of that, everyone loves Cam Scatterview. He's probably done for the season. And there is no official word on it yet that I've seen. But when your ankle is twisted, you know, the wrong way, it's probably done. So that sucks. But for the Giants, I mean, there weren't much expectations this year. It's glad to see that the flashes you have could mean for, you know, the years to come that you are competitive. Number 20, we got them boys. 3-4-1 staying the same. They lose to the Broncos, but I mean, it was a bad loss. But I mean, a lot of these teams have bad losses, so it's kind of hard to drop them. But they also definitely aren't moving up, so. I just reviewed a few teams. Whoopsie. 19, we had the Falcons. They're 3-4. Down a spot. They ended up losing again. With Kirk Cousins as their quarterback, they got blown out by the Dolphins 34-10. This was just another bad game for them. It seems like the Falcons are very Michael Penix dependent. It just seems like Kirk Cousins kind of was not expecting to be in that game, and it showed. They struggled immensely in a game where that team going into it had 1 win. You got to win that. I mean, you're fighting for a playoff spot. You have the pieces to, you know, make a playoff spot. Probably not do well in the playoffs, but, I mean, definitely make the playoffs. And it just didn't go your way. Hopefully, Penix is back for your next game because that was embarrassing. I'm ashamed for you guys. Number 18, we had the Panthers down a spot. They also lose. They're 4-4. They got blown out by the Bills. Another one, backup quarterback. I mean, I think Andy Dalton was ready to be in that position, but they just didn't play well. This is, in my opinion, a team who were blinded by, you know, how well they're doing. Everyone's like, oh my goodness, the Panthers are actually having a good season. Yeah, once they play a good team, they get blown out, so no surprise there. This was not shocking to me. I still think the Panthers are decent. I think they will be fighting for a playoff spot. Record-wise, I don't think play-wise they'll kind of be like, oh, well, even if they do make the playoffs, they're getting blown out in the first round. I think that's kind of the expectations they're going to have. 17, we had the Steelers down a spot. They're 4-3. They lose to the Packers 35-25. In a game where the Steelers had a great first half and then a lackluster second half, which choked them the game. Aaron Rodgers has yet to beat the Packers. The only team he hasn't beat failed to join Brady in that club. The Steelers, thankfully you're in a cakewalk of a division, because if not, I think we'd be talking about a different story of you guys would probably be sucking. But, I mean, here we are. You guys have, the easy path. Let's see if you can capitalize on it. Number 16, we have the Jaguars going down a spot. They're 4-3. They were on a bye week, so they're only going down because the team's going up. Number 15, we got the Bears down 3 spots. Losing to the Ravens with a backup quarterback definitely hurts, considering your momentum, winning 4 straight. And, you're right there with the Packers and the Lions for the division. Now you kind of take a step back and you're kind of looking at them from a bit more of a distance. You're still on pace to have a pretty good season. Definitely wild card potential, but that loss is going to hurt because it looks like the NFC is kind of solidified with, its top teams and its bottom teams. It's kind of split into 2. It's not really, it's close between teams. It is between the contenders, but, a lot of these teams just are either faking it or have lost games that they shouldn't lose, and it's kind of pushed them back. And the Bears are, one of them. And I don't think they're faking it. I think they just lost a game they shouldn't have. 14, we got the Texans going up 5 spots. Huge win over the 49ers. Much needed. This Texans team has just lost a bunch of brutal games. They finally get a good one that they win. I do think the Texans aren't going to win their division, but I do think they're still fighting for a playoff spot, even with their slow start to the season. I mean, they have the roster to do so. This is a team I'm actually very confident in. It's about time they pick up a win they needed, and this was all without Nico Collins. So this was with, rookie receivers Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel. This was just a good win. They played well both sides. They held the 49ers, who, even with all their injuries, have been playing to their opponents tremendously. They finally get a dub. So, congrats, Texans. 13, we got the Chargers up a spot. They're 5-3. They're doing good. They pick up the win against the Vikings on Thursday night in dominant fashion. I mean, they just, from first quarter to fourth quarter, played dominant the whole time. So, there's not much to say about this team. It's very hit or miss. This week they hit. So, yeah. Number 12, we got the Broncos. 6-2. They're going up a spot as well. They pick up the win against the Cowboys, dominant fashion, 44-24. Holding that high-power offense to only 24 points. That was a great game for them. They played amazing. It's just one of those as well where they're a better Chargers. They do have their inconsistencies, but this week wasn't one of them. I do think they're definitely more complete than the Chargers. It comes down to literally every factor except like quarterback. I mean, you look, receivers are better. Simply because I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Chargers, but I do think the Chargers receivers are injury prone. Running backs better. Tight end, maybe not. The Chargers do have that breakout. Defense, definitely. So, yeah. I mean, I think the Broncos and Chargers are going to be fighting for the AFC West. We also have Kansas City, who's in the conversation. Poor Raiders, man. But as for now, the Broncos doing a great job. And, yeah. Number 11, we got the Rams. They're going to be staying the same. They actually made a trade on their bye week for Roger McCreary. I actually really do like this trade, only giving up a 5th-round pick. I mean, this is a good trade. This gives him, if only they would have made it a week earlier, give him a bye week to kind of learn the system. I do think he's going to be good. He's been one of the better corners in the league. With that being said, he's good, not great. So, yeah, he's a solid, cornerback 2 or depth guy, in my opinion, if need be. And I think for a contender like the Rams, it's a good trade, barely giving up anything. Number 10, we got the 49ers down 8 spots. It's just not meant to be, all right? You lose a game, it's okay, but that loss drops you from 1st to 3rd in your division. The NFC West is a bloodbath besides Arizona. For the 49ers, I'm not worried. I mean, yeah, one loss. I mean, a lot of these games you should have lost with these backups going into the game, but you end up winning. So I think this is just one game. You should be able to bounce back very well. Number 9, we got the Bills. Dominant win over the Panthers puts you up a spot. Nothing went wrong. Played well offensively, defensively. James Cook over 200 yards. The Bills are a contender. We always knew they were. They shut up on those fan bases who were like, oh, we're good. Not quite, all right? You still have a lot of way to go. But I do definitely like the Panthers. But Bills, great win. You showed no weakness whatsoever. Number 8, we got the team who did beat the Bills earlier, the Patriots, 6-2, up a spot. Great win over the Browns. Even though you allowed 5 sacks, you didn't let it phase you. That's just the better team wins, even with their star player. With that being said, don't allow 5 sacks next time. And even while doing that, you showed the dominance. So I'd like to see you guys do that. Without allowing 5 sacks, you might win 110. The Patriots seem legit. Number 7, we got Philly up a spot, 6-2. They pick up a win over the Giants while injuring, our precious Cam Scatterby in the process. I hate this team even more now. Ref ball got in the way. I think it literally changed the whole momentum of the game. Jalen Hurts fumbles the ball in the tush push. They don't call it a fumble. They say forward progress, yada, yada, yada. He's still fighting for yards. How do you roll forward progress over? I don't understand. Either way, just another reason the tush push has, a reason to get banned, so it's fine in my opinion. But the Eagles, they're definitely showing flaws, but they're, making it work. So, that's all that matters. Number 6, we had the Packers up a spot, 5-1-1. They pick up the win over the Steelers. They actually looked so good this second half. Now, my big concern with Green Bay, and it's always been a concern as a fan, is they love to be that way. They love playing one half of football. They struggled in the first half. They had a few drives that didn't end in points. They only managed to score a touchdown while being down by 9 to the Steelers. And then come the second half, they allow, one touchdown. It was garbage time pretty much. They were dominant, in that third and fourth quarter. So if they're able to play 4 quarters, this team might be unstoppable. But until then, they're at number 6. Number 5, we got Tampa Bay up a spot. They pick up the win over the Saints, 24-3, even with the refs trying to get in the way of that. And that's like a good thing for the Buccaneers. Like the refs were like helping the Saints out, and the Buccaneers still denied them. If I'm the Buccaneers, I'm happy with this. Look at your division. The next closest team is the Panthers, who are 4-4, who just got blown out by the Bills. Their flaws got exposed. So the Buccaneers have a good lead over the division. They're still competing with the 1 seed in the NFC. It could be the Buccaneers' year. Number 4, we have the Seahawks, 5-2, up a spot. They're on a bye week, but another team going down. Lions, 5-2, up a spot. Same thing. Number 3, they were on a bye week, but another team went down. It was the 49ers. Number 2, we had the Chiefs, 5-3, up a spot. Good win over the Commanders. Definitely struggled a bit more than you liked, but you didn't let that get in the way. Even with the Commanders playing super well, you'd hold them to 4th and shorts, and they'd go for it and you'd get the stop. That was a great job by you, because it would allow you to get the ball in better field position rather than them punting it or attempting a field goal and getting points. They were, being greedy. This Chiefs team, I know it's scary how they might win another one, but they seriously looked that good. They struggled the first half of the first few games of the season. What was it, starting 1-3 or something? But they are back. Number 1, it's going to be the Colts. They have the best record for a reason. They're blowing out every team they play. The only 2 teams they haven't blown out were the Broncos, who are our top team, who they beat, and the Rams, who are our top team, who they lost to, both by a field goal. So this team shows, hey, we can blow out the pretenders, or not even pretenders, just the bad teams. We hang in there with the good teams, winning them as well. This team is legit. Right, I know people are like, oh, they're going to collapse at any moment now. They very well could. I don't see it. I see this team being well-coached, well-disciplined. Daniel Jones saying, hey, this is my year. Right, you guys wrote me off. I didn't write back. Not very original. I know Geno Smith did, but clearly, stuff happened with him. So, yeah, I do think the Colts are in the position to say we are the best team in the league, and I am going to back it up. With all that being said, that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. Let me know how you think I did in the comments. Anything I should change, if you think another team is better than or worse than I said. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time with predictions. Goodbye. Hope you